Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. And I will say it was an easy Dynamite to watch, but like from an in-ring standpoint, none of it felt substantial to me. Now, we got a bunch of stuff announced. We've got, as far as Forbidden Door does go, and let me pull this up here, where they announced 1, 2, 3, 4 new matches. So, like, from that standpoint, building the pay-per-view that's a week from this weekend, great job. But none of the matches on this show felt important to me. None of them felt like I needed to pay attention, and none of them felt like the outcome really mattered. And that's not good. I thought it was a good show overall because of it built to the next pay-per-view, but I didn't feel like it was all that great from an in-ring standpoint. Like, again, and I know I'm harping a dead drum here saying the same thing over and over and over. It's just like none of the matches felt like they were important. None of the matches felt like whoever wins or loses or whatever happens in the matches matter, because it was all what happened after the matches and what happened, you know, in between things, if that makes a lot of sense. Let me wipe my glasses off really fast. They're a little dirty. Because, like, if we go back and look at all the matches really fast, let me scroll through my notes. It's like Jon Moxley versus Kevin Knight. That match didn't matter for anything. Moxley won, no duh. Go back here. The women's trios match. Like, that didn't matter for anything. Alex Windsor got the win, and that's the right call because she's challenging for the TBS title, so you make her look strong. Cool. But then it was all about the post-match, really. All the women brawling, Athena and Tony coming out and brawling as well. Copeland and Stoke, exactly what we thought it was going to be. Adam Copeland just screwing with Stokely and then beating him, no problem. And then again, that was all about the post-match, where this is all about Cope with FTR. And then Christian comes out to help him, which, okay, sure. I wish they would have stretched this out a little bit longer and Christian would have found himself, you know, slightly doing things, but then like, nah, I really can't help him. Or no, that's not right. I should be a bad guy still. And then now they're just doing Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne versus the two of them. Don't even get me started on that one. They're wasting Cope and Christian together in London. They're not waiting for the FTR feud, which is the real feud. They're not waiting till Toronto, which is where they're from. No, they're just going to do it in London. And then they're going to do it again in Toronto a month later and be like, this is such a good idea. Oh my God, in Toronto. Oh my God, against FTR. And it's like, yeah, but we just saw them team like 20 days ago, so it's not even going to matter. And then like the 8-man tag with the Bucks and Kyle Fletcher and all that was to set up, oh, Takahashi's here. He's challenging for the TNT title. It didn't matter that the baby faces won and the heels lost. That didn't matter. All that match was who's the mystery opponent that's going to be the challenger for Kyle Fletcher, you know? And then what else do we have? The trio. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on the trios champions versus LFI in the main event. That was a shit show main event as far as like, it wasn't a bad match or anything, but who's going to stick around for that main event? You see that as the main event and you go, oh, okay, Joe's first match since All In. Cool. Okay. Like, there's nothing to it. There's no reasoning to it. There's nothing to get you hyped up for, oh shit, that's a hell of a main event. Gotta see that. No, not at all. It's Rouge Jalisco and the Beast Mortos versus the Ops. The Ops we haven't seen since All In. Rouge Jalisco and Beast Mortos, they're just losers. No offense, but they're just guys that lose all the time. So, again, all the matches on here were insubstantial because they didn't matter. It was all what's going to happen between and after the matches. That's what this show was. It was easy to watch, I'll say that for sure. But it just, a lot of it didn't feel, it felt like they were building up to the pay-per-view, but then go, oh shit, we need matches. Let's just throw random matches. And they were all multi-person matches, except for the Mox. Well, no, they weren't. Never mind. I take that back. There was the Mox, Knight, Stoke, Cope. So never mind. I take it back. They weren't all multi-person matches. But with all of that, as I ramble, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by becoming a channel member and hitting the join button. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat. And you get access to our graphics packages, access to our graphics tutorials. And we're going to start doing some retro watch-alongs over there as well. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new shock and awesome season for Fortnite. Maybe you want the Power Ranger skins that are out right now. Well, when you're getting them V-Bucks, when you're in the store buying something on Fortnite, it's going to ask you, do you have a creator code? And you do. It's PWU NLIMITED. Only takes a couple of seconds to plug it in and use it to support. Also, remember, you can do that not just on your computer. It's your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, your phone, your tablet, your Amazon Fire Stick, whatever you're playing Fortnite on, you can use this creator code, not just through the Epic Game Store, but through Fortnite itself. With all of that, as I scroll back up in my notes, the show kicks off with the most hated man in wrestling, MJF, striding the mic. MJF is out there waiting for the world champion Hangman Page to come out next, to a huge reaction from the crowd in Cincinnati. MJF ran down the crowd and then told Page that he knows he's at his most vulnerable when he's angry. MJF promised to make Page very, very angry. Page took the bait and called MJF an edgelord and a dumbass. And that's always been Hangman's thing. He's going to call you a dumbass. You know, dumbass. Page said that MJF isn't going to goad him into a title match. And he's going to have to earn it or use his casino cash-in contract. Sign the paper. Sign the paper. MJF said that, quote, good and, quote, bad is a matter of perspective. Is a matter of perspective. And he's not the problem. Page is. MJF took a shot at God. Well, he ain't getting anything. Because Page isn't God. He's the God. He's also the devil. MJF said getting the title back is all he ever wants. He has a point to prove. And that is to show the world that Hangman's a fraud. And at Forbidden Door, MJF promised to crucify Page. The two go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Eventually, Hangman's like, you ain't getting a shot unless you use the contract. Execute the contract. Tell me when you want the match. Do it at Forbidden Door. I don't care. And he's like yelling at him, going, just execute it. And finally, MJF blows up and goes, fine, I'm going to. And then we don't hear anything because he's cussing and whatnot. And then all of a sudden you hear Excalibur go, oh my God. And I'm like, so he said he executed it, right? We didn't hear what he said. And then Page called him a dumbass one final time. And MJF got all pissed off and kicked the ropes and stomped around like, oh shit, what did I just do? But it is official. At Forbidden Door on August 31st, we will be getting the AEW World Championship on the line when Hangman Adam Page defends against MJF. So I know before, like last year, this contract thing was basically their money in the bank. You can show up at any time, cash it in, and there you go. But they've kind of changed that up this year. Basically, now it is, you have a guaranteed title match whenever you want. And maybe I'm just looking too much into this, and this is not the actual rule, but that's what they did with both this year. It's basically not show up whenever to cash in like Money in the Bank. It is, you can call your shot whenever you want. You don't have to earn a title shot. You can just execute your contract, sign the contract, and wherever you say is where the match takes place. So you got to set up a match is what it is. It's not just show up randomly and cash in like Christian did, or like we see with WWE and Money in the Bank. Because I think it was Fightful said it earlier this year that AEW was a little upset with how the contract thing worked with Christian because there was too many comparisons to it just being a WWE Money in the Bank ripoff. So now this way, it's still a Money in the Bank ripoff, kind of, but there's a little more to it. You can't just cash in whenever. You have to basically tell the champion, hey, I'm executing, and on this date, you will defend against me. So that's what it is. And I'm not a big fan that they used it both for the same pay-per-view and used it both for, what is this, the first pay-per-view since All In? Like, we haven't seen another pay-per-view since. So it's like, they kind of ran through it pretty fast for both of them. I wish they would have like done one and then waited on the other. It's like you have them both there whenever you want it. Elite, I'm not going to read that racist comment, but thank you for the subscription on Twitch. No, YouTube. Thank you for being a channel member. But I'm not going to read that comment because I feel like it's a little racist. Don't have the context for it, so I'm not going to read it. But we do have some bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. First one says, no one ever expected Tanahashi to compete in a lights-out cage match in his last match in the UK as part of his retirement tour for NJPW. Should have been a normal six-man tag match, grudge match with Ospreay and Darby, connected with Tanahashi against the Death Riders. That's what I thought it was going to be when they announced it. And I'm like, cage match? What? And then he's like, oh, we got Tanahashi on our team. And I'm like, okay, six-man, that's fine. It's going to be a fucking 10-man in that cage. They better do a goddamn dog pound match like New Japan does and have the cage on the outside of the ring so then these guys can get out of the ring and fight as well. Because if they're all locked in the ring and it's a regular cage match, there's just going to be so much everyone on top of each other. So this needs to end up being New Japan's dog pound match and not just a normal cage match for AEW. I mean, for all we know, they could change it to blood and guts next week, which is what I think they should do. But if this is just a normal cage match, the cage is right there on the apron. No one can even get on the apron, get on ringside or anything. It's going to suck. And then especially if you got guys that are just walking out, getting weapons, walking back. Like if they do all that bullshit too. Like we don't know exactly what this. I feel like there's questions to be answered with this cage match because it can't just be a normal cage match with 10 people in there. They're all going to be just on top of each other the whole time. And then with the cage aspect, it's going to be hard to see who's doing what because you got to be looking through the cage. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the way this was set up and announced. But hopefully we learn that it's not a standard cage and that they do more with it. Because I liked New Japan's dog pound match, where it's a shorter cage. The cage is maybe only 6 foot tall, but it's sitting on the floor. And there's a ringside area where the guys can still get out of the ring, grab stuff from underneath and fight and wrestle and stuff. And also the dog pound match is similar to Blood and Guts or War Games, where you start with 2 and then people periodically come out. So I would love if it turns into that. But if that was the case, they would have announced it as such. Them just announcing it as a lights out cage match just means, first off, it being lights out means nothing. It just means, hey, this match is going on last after the world title match, and it's unsanctioned. So calling it lights out is kind of dumb anyways, because, I mean, it's a cage match. Lights out means basically hardcore match. Basically means death match. Basically means street fight. But it's a cage match, so there's already no rules anyways. Well, that's the other thing. Is it escape the cage? Is it pinfall submission? Is it one person escape the cage? Every member of the team has to escape the cage? What's the rules here? Hopefully they tell us next week. He also says NXT beat TMZ Hulk Hogan documentary in the ratings. No, it didn't. The Hogan doc did like 1 million and NXT did like 720 something. I can go double check right now. Let me go to Brandon Thurston on Twitter. It did not. If you think that, I don't know where you got your info from. Again, I'm going to read and make sure I didn't read that wrong. You said NXT beat the TMZ Hulk documentary in the ratings. Well, first off, that ain't true. Let's pull this tweet up here from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. TMZ presents The Real Hulk Hogan 1 hour special on Fox at 8 p.m. averaged a .13 in the 18 to 49 ratings and 1,004,000 viewers, according to Programming Inside. NXT on CW didn't seem to be impacted. 728, that's overall, and in the 18 to 49, a .17. Yes, they did better in the 18 to 49 slightly, but I don't count that. I count the overall number. So saying, oh, they beat them in the rating. No, they didn't. It's the overall number that matters. Yes, I know everyone says the all-important 18 to 49 demo, but the Hogan doc was not targeted at the 18 to 49 demo. It was targeted at more like the 35 to 55 demo. The older people that grew up with Hogan, not the younger generation. It's like, I'm the lowest that was the target of, and I'm 36. So I'm like the lowest that was really the target of. Everyone that grew up with Hogan. Saying that they beat him? Yes, they beat him in the your wording was wrong, I guess you would say. Your wording was wrong. Because you said they beat him. Well, no, they beat him in the 18 to 49 demo. They beat him in one slight category. Overall, they did not. Overall, Fox did over 1 million. But moving forward, who's booking Mone's matches in AEW and other wrestling companies like NJPW Stardom? Is it her promo writer, Peppermint, her agent, Tony Khan, or all the above? So AEW has no say in what she does outside of AEW. Whatever she does outside of AEW, it's a company will reach out, say, hey, we want to use you for our show. Here's what we have planned. Here's the idea. What do you think? As far as AEW does go, Tony Khan is booking it all. Tony Khan's got final say. He's in charge. And then when it comes to her scripts, and if she's ever got anything to like cut promos on, Jen Peppermint is writing her script in AEW. But when it comes to New Japan, New Japan's booking it. New Japan's coming up with the creative. When it comes to all these other random indies that she's working, they come up with the opponent. They tell her when the match is and who she's wrestling. It's not a thing of AEW is booking her outside as well. AEW has nothing to do with her outside bookings other than she gets them. She takes them to AEW and says, is this conflicting with anything else you need from me? No? Okay, I'm going to go do this in this country or this city or this state. So, yeah, no. AEW has nothing to do with anything she does outside of AEW other than allowing it because it's not a conflicting date. That's all AEW has is first rights on dates. And so she's got to just get it approved that they don't need her for that same date or they don't need her for that date or anything that's going to conflict with her travel. Like, oh, if she needs to leave the day before and she's not coming back to the day after, then they got to know that time period, those days she's going to be gone for that indie. They don't need her. He says AEW Cross NJPW 2025 is never forbidden this year, and NJPW Stardom may go do a partnership with WWE if Tanahashi is thinking now after he out of the G1. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? New Japan's going to go work with WWE. No, they're not. WWE has a partnership with Noah. Now, granted, Noah and New Japan do work together sometimes, so that's not that big of a deal. But no, New Japan's loyalty is to AEW. They are not going to go do something with WWE. They are not going to go start working with WWE just because Tanahashi's no longer in the G1. What the hell? What? Esports gaming rules? That hurts my brain even just thinking about, oh, just because Tanahashi's now out of the G1, he's going to go partner with WWE. What? What? Okay. Yeah, okay, guy. He says, what will happen if Mone loses the TBS championship? Will she freak out? I mean, in storyline, sure. Her character will have a meltdown. I think she's got to start losing them belts sometime soon, eventually. And I think what happens is she loses the TBS belt. Then she starts losing all the other ones slowly. And I think this is her idea, too, to do the belt collector thing. And then eventually loses them all slowly. And her redemption is she eventually gets the AEW Women's World title. She loses all the belts, but she gets the Women's World title. And that's the end all be all. I just don't want her to see with the AEW Women's title and all the other belts. I want her to lose them all first. Go into her like, crap, I'm not good enough, but then work her way back up to getting a world title shot and then boom, winning it. And then being like, oh, I had all those other ones, which was great. But this is the real one. This is the most important one. As we move forward here. Where was I? Footage was shown from last week of Darby Allin kidnapping Wheeler Yuta and stapling the note to his head that said Forbidden Door on it. Moxley joined us live and said, "Hey, Darby, whatever you think's happening at Forbidden Door, it ain't happening." We then got John Moxley versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight is here because last week he stepped up, I guess you would say, to defend Speedball when Moxley was beating his ass. Knight charged off the top rope and kicked Moxley, got him into the corner, was stomping a mud hole. As soon as he backed up, though, Moxley took control and threw some hard strikes. Moxley at one point dodged a drop kick and tried a Texas Cloverleaf, but Knight pushed him out of the ring. They battled at the barricade, with Moxley punching and wrenching at Knight's head. At one point, Knight sent Moxley into the ring, and as Moxley staggered up, Knight hit him with a drop kick from the ring apron. At one point, Moxley hit a big suplex and dragged Knight around the ring. Bailey tried to get involved here, Speedball Mike Bailey, but Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta cut him off, allowing Moxley to toss Knight outside into the stairs. Moxley then pulled him back into the ring and locked in a stretch hold. At one point, the two climbed to the top rope, and Moxley twisted Knight's fingers before poking him in the eyes. Knight then sprang back up, though, and nailed a top rope superplex for a 2. Moxley then hit a cutter out of nowhere and went for a pile driver, but Knight reversed it and sent Moxley into the ropes for a powerbomb and a 2. Moxley bailed from the ring, but Knight dove over the turnbuckle right onto him. Yuta tried to get involved, and Knight knocked him out. Knight then hit a DDT and a UFO splash, but Moxley got his knees up and put him in a sleeper hold. Knight tried his best to wriggle and jiggle out of it, but he eventually had to tap, with Moxley picking up the victory. So there we go. John Moxley does defeat Kevin Knight, as everyone expected. After the match, Bailey tried to help out Knight, but Yuta took him down, peppering him with elbows and sending him out of the ring for Shafir to finish off. Darby's music would then hit, and Allin dragged a body bag and a skateboard down the ramp. Allen's arrival allowed Knight to drop kick Moxley to the floor. Allin jumped Yuta from behind and zipped him in the body bag. He went up for the coffin drop, but Claudio arrived and took out Darby, releasing Yuta from the bag. And the body bag thing's kind of dumb. I mean, it fits the Darby character, I guess, but I'm like, I'm not a fan of the body bag thing. Not at all. Claudio at one point grabbed Darby and gut-wrenched him into his own body bag and zipped it up. He then put Allin on his shoulders and hit the big spin and throw him onto the mat. I was scared here because I thought, oh shit, it's Darby. He's going to have them throw him to the floor, and then he's going to kill himself. But no, he threw him down on the mat. Yuta grabbed a chair, pulled Allin out of the bag, put the chair around his neck. Before the damage could be done, Will Ospreay would run out to make the save. Moxley grabbed Yuta. Moxley grabbed Yuta, but Ospreay grabbed... I wrote that weird. Ospreay grabbed a mic and was like, I challenge you guys to a match at Forbidden Door. Lights out, steel cage. And that's all we heard from there. We learned more throughout the night. So we had a trios match. It was Mercedes Moné, Tekla, and Sky Blue against Alex Windsor, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale. Tekla and Blue were out there with Julia Hart in their corner. They did this triangle hold the hands thing in the middle of the ring, and so Mercedes tries to hold their hands too, and she gets their hands, so they're now in a circle. They kind of just look at Mercedes, and then they all just kind of they're doing a little seance before their match. I don't know. But Alex Windsor and Blue kicked off the match with a quick little exchange here, with Windsor taking control with a big shoulder block. Nightingale tagged in and pounced Blue into the corner. Blue managed to get a tag to Moné, and Aminata came in. The TBS champion got picked up and slammed by Aminata, who laid in some, quote, chocolate kisses. Aminata then isolated Moné on her team's corner, and Windsor tagged in for some side slams. Julia Hart tried to get involved by grabbing Windsor from the outside, and Moné used the distraction to hit a chin breaker. After a commercial break, Nightingale flattened Tekla, and Blue jumped in to get some revenge. Nightingale caught her with a Death Valley driver, and Windsor took out Blue. Tekla, Blue, and Moné got stacked up in the corner and took some punishment from all three opponents. At one point, Windsor locked in a scorpion sharp lock shooter is what they called it, but Moné was able to get a tag to Blue. Nightingale hit her, but Blue hit Nightingale and all hell broke loose. Everyone just brawling everywhere. And eventually Blue hit the Scorpion Deathlock on... Windsor. I wrote Blue hit Blue. Windsor hit the Scorpion Deathlock on Blue and forced her to tap out. So there we go. Yeah, I wrote that way weird. I wrote Blue, made Blue tap out with a Scorpion Deathlock. No. Windsor made her tap out with a Scorpion Deathlock. Then after the match, everyone just starts fighting and brawling, and everyone's just going everywhere. And Athena and Storm start brawling on the balcony where they were throughout the match watching. And all of a sudden they end up on the apron and everyone's just fighting and everything. And it's like, what the hell is going on? I feel like I'm watching Raw here with Rusev and Sheamus. Athena and Storm eventually get into the ring. Windsor took out Monet in the ring and Storm grabbed a mic. Storm then said that they were going to bareback them. She said, lift your skirts or your kilts. We're going to bareback you next week all over Scotland. So they set up a tag match. It's Alex Windsor and Toni Storm, who they kept saying over and over are great friends. Great close friends. Alex Windsor and Toni Storm. Great close friends. Okay. But it's those two against Mercedes and Athena next week on Dynamite. Also, we don't know what time does Dynamite start live? Like, W schedule. Because they're in Scotland next week. So are there going to be spoilers before it airs? That's the big question. Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah. So roughly like noon Central Time, which is my time. So 1 p.m. Eastern is when the show is being filmed, I want to say, in Scotland. So we should get spoilers. So be aware of that. I didn't think about that till just now. I had to do a little math on that one because they're what? 6 hours ahead of me. So 5 hours ahead of East Coast. And that's the 20. Yeah. So there will be spoilers before the show even airs. So just be cautious of that. They don't got them damn selves a Netflix deal where they can air it just live from at any time. They should. What else do you got in the middle of the day on frickin' TBS? Nothing. But they're doing that and Dynamite. They're filming them both there. And then Dynamite, I think, is going to air the next night, maybe. Because Forbidden Door. No. I think it's still Saturday. Regardless, there's going to be spoilers before next week's Dynamite airs on TBS. So backstage, Will Ospreay was joined by Renee Paquette, and she was just basically like, so we heard your big breaking news. Lights out cage match at Forbidden Door? Well, who do you got? And he's like, well, you know, I didn't think this match was forbidden-y enough. So I had to call up my old boss. I had to say, hey, you want one last big one in the UK? And he said he will have himself, Darby Allin, and Hiroshi Tanahashi on his team. And then I guess I missed it, but he said, and others, which we now know is Omega and Ibushi. But yeah. So cool. Lights out cage match. What does that really mean? It's just a cage match. Putting the lights out in front of it doesn't fucking mean anything at all. Then we got Cope and Stoke. This was both entertaining and stupid as shit at the same time. So they come down. They had to have security carry Stokely Hathaway to the ring because he was kicking and streaming, not wanting to do it. Cope knocks him down a couple times where he can't really get up. So he says, let's poll the audience. He's like, what do you think of Stokely Hathaway? He asked this guy in the front row. So he asked this guy in the front row, what do you think of Stokely Hathaway? And he's like, he's bald, he's short, and he can't get no O's. And everyone laughed. And Taz took a little exception to that. He's like, what's wrong with being short and bald? And then he asked this other girl, are you a hoe? She goes, no. He goes, does Stokely have any chance with you? She goes, hell no. And he took another shot at Stokely or whatever, and then he offered Stokely a free shot. Then he casually just stepped aside, drawing a holy shit chant from the crowd. Are you fucking kidding me? FTR then eventually come out, and commentary keeps going, they're getting close. They're getting close. If they get any closer, their protection order's over. They're canceling their protection order. And FTR couldn't take it anymore. They ran into the ring, negating their protection restraining order. Copeland took out Wheeler and Cash, and then went for a third spear on Stokely, but Stokely threw powder in Copeland's face, causing the referee to call off the match. Not when the FTR jumped in the ring, when they throw the powder. Okay, whatever. I guess because they didn't touch Cope yet. They then slammed his head into the mic, and you hear commentary. He goes, Excalibur, not the mic. They didn't use the mic. And so Wheeler held Copeland so Stokely could punch him. FTR went to finish Copeland off, but this out came Christian Cage with Spike. And I'm like, okay, cool. I thought we'd see a little bit more of Christian actually being remorseful, actually changing. No, last time we saw Christian, he was still being a dick on TV in that promo. Anyways, he comes out with Spike. He tries to help, and he does run off FTR, but then Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian come out. Cope speared Sabian, and the heels backed away, leaving Christian and Cope in the ring together. Crowd chanted, hug it out. They hugged it out, and then Christian kind of was like, what did I just do? And then he left. And then later they announced their team at the pay-per-view. What? They kind of ran through that pretty quickly. Kind of just, woof. We're just going to speed through this storyline. I'm like, okay, doing it in it all out, good enough time to really flesh this out and slowly see Christian change. Not just all of a sudden, he's a heel at the pay-per-view. Cope tells him to figure stuff out. Then he's doing a heel promo still, being a dick, and then all of a sudden now he's cool. What? What? Then we got an 8-man tag. So we come back from the break, and all of a sudden just all this pyro and fire starts going off. And commentary goes, I don't know what that was. Someone must have hit the wrong button. And then we hear, we have no music for the Young Bucks entrance tonight. And so they make their way out to the ring. The thing on the screen says, the instant replay, Slick Nick, which I guess was Nick Jackson's original indie name. Slick Nick called himself the instant replay. Cool. Okay, I'm over this. I said it last week. I'm over the stupid entrances and everyone calling them jobbers. Because they're not jobbers. You know what jobbers is? You know what a jobber is? Jobber is the guy very low on the totem pole that's just there to lose to the star. Just to put the star over. Just to give the star a win. That's what a jobber is. Not what the Young Bucks are. So just because they're no longer EVPs, they're jobbers. So should everybody that's not an EVP be considered a jobber as well? Just saying. Just saying. But the big crux of this match was, who's the mystery opponent? Who's the mystery guy from New Japan? Because that will tell us who is challenging Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title at Forbidden Door. And so everyone comes out. We got the baby faces. We got the heels. Drum roll. It's Hiromu Takahashi. And I'm like, okay, that match should be fucking good. Hiromu and Kyle Fletcher. Yes, please. That match should be awesome. I saw some people trying to predict Desperado. But no, that would have been fine. I think Hiromu and Kyle Fletcher is even better. Fletcher and Takahashi kicked off the match with a great little exchange until the Young Bucks interfered. Hologram and King sent the Bucks to the outside as a brawl broke out. Weird that it was Hologram and not Bandito. Like, why is it not Brodito? Like, why was Brody King in this match? Because the big thing is Brody King and Bandito are in the finals of that tag title #1 contender tournament. So either you don't put Brody in this match at all, so he's fresh for that match, or you put fucking his actual partner in this as well. Why was it Hologram instead of Bandito? It made no sense. Again, they just throw random fucking people in the ring together and say, have a match. No rhyme or reason whatsoever. Ever. After things did finally quiet down, everyone started fighting. King and Hologram double teamed Fletcher in the ring. They isolated him in the corner, and King, Takahashi, and Ishii all took turns beating Fletcher up. King charged him in the corner, but Fletcher got a foot up, and Alexander came in with the beatdown on King. At this point, they're telling us, and I missed this. I didn't even see what happened. They said the Young Bucks beat up Justin Roberts. I'm like, what? What the hell did I miss? Was it during their entrance? I don't even know. But then they go, Tony Khan has just told us that each Buck has been fined $10,000 for super kicking Justin Roberts. And Tony Schiavone will do the ring announcing for the rest of the night. Why Tony? You couldn't have brought out Arcady, who was probably there for the collision stuff. Couldn't have brought out Arcady Ora. She wasn't there. You had to have Tony do it. And then Tony made a joke. It's been like 25, 30 years since he's done ring announcing on TBS. But yeah, I didn't even see where this happened. Like, I didn't even see at all where they super kicked Justin Roberts. Like, did anybody catch that? Chat, did you see it? Because I didn't see it. I just all of a sudden hear him go, I've just been informed by Tony Khan that the Young Bucks have both been fined $10,000. I'm like, for what? And then they go, for super kicking Justin Roberts. I'm like, when? When? Anyways, Ishii set Fletcher up for a shot. And then there was a 450 from Hologram, but Fletcher got his knees up. The Bucks ran in and started spamming super kicks. Alexander grabbed Takahashi and slammed him on the ring apron while everybody was brawling yet again. This match broke down way too many times. At one point, Alexander did tag in, but Takahashi reversed his attack into a flatliner. King then rejoined the match after the pile driver and took out Fletcher. Hologram then joined, and there was a bunch of people just going at it again. Brawling. All hell broke loose. Alexander and Takahashi were the only ones left in the ring. Takahashi planted Alexander with a huge driver and then picked up the win. This match was one of those matches where you can't keep notes because it's just too much shit going on at all times. Like I said, there's a whole angle in this match where the Young Bucks super kick Justin Roberts got fined. When? I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it happen, and all of a sudden they're just telling us it happened. Like, I'm going to go back and look. You know what? Screw it. Let me load up YouTube TV really fast. See if we can find it really fast, because now I want to see this. Now this is going to bug me. I forgot about it until I read it again. Let's go to YouTube TV. Let's mute that so the stream doesn't hear the audio. Go to the recording of the show. AEW Dynamite. Let's see. Where's this match at? Like, okay, so it was before the match happened. Okay, here we go. Kyle Fletcher's making his way to the ring. They're yelling at Justin Roberts. They're getting in his face. Now they're showing the cameras on Kyle Fletcher. Justin Roberts is now sitting in the corner. They're still yelling at him. Justin Roberts is now standing up in the corner, doing the intros. I don't see him getting super kicked. We have to fast forward through this whole match now. He gets out of the ring. Nothing happens there. The match has started. No one's super kicked Justin Roberts. Wait, is it here? See, yeah, there it is now. Okay. It was in the first minute or two of the match. Oh my God, Justin Roberts got fucking killed. No wonder he couldn't be out there for the rest of this. They squished him. Hold on. Let me get to the right moment. They squished his ass against the barricade. That had to hurt. Look at this, chat. Yeah, I didn't see this at all. I must have looked away for 20 seconds. But screw it. We'll just play the clip. We'll just play the 10 seconds. I don't care if it's... So here's the thing. Here's what happened. We're no audio, though. No audio, though. So they tease it. He goes, ah! And they yell at him and they laugh at him. But watch this. He gets just squished against the barricade. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So I missed that totally. I completely missed that. That's on me, I guess. But regardless, Ishii, Hologram, Brody King, and Hiromu Takahashi pick up the win. Cool. They then said it's official. Fletcher will be defending against Hiromu Takahashi at the pay-per-view. So we go to a break, and when we come back, there's just a big wide shot, right? From above. And Renee Paquette's out there. She's standing at ringside on the ramp. And it's just like, this is awkward. It's quiet. Nothing's happening. What's going on? Then they cut to a one shot of her, and her mic's not working. So then Excalibur's like, come on, say, sorry, we have technical difficulties with Renee Paquette's microphone. Let's try this again. Which it happens. I mean, whatever. And then she says, I'm here. Let me welcome out Swerve Strickland. So Swerve comes out with her. And Where was I? They're start talking about how it's going to be Swerve and Okada at the pay-per-view for the unified title. And then Excalibur and Taz go, that's going to be, what do those kids call them? Bangers? Yeah, banger. Oh, a banger. That's going to be a banger. And I'm like, oh my God. No. Like, no. Anyways, Renee, finally they get it all issues resolved. Swerve's out there. Swerve actually kind of looks a little perturbed and not happy to be out there. And Renee goes, question. I saw you speaking with medical today. Like, is something wrong? You not cleared? Are you able to go? And Swerve's like, yeah, about that. I do got something, but I'm going to be fine. My goal is to get to Forbidden Door and fight for the unified title and win the unified title. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Swerve's working through an injury. Okada then comes out, kind of stares down Swerve Strickland and goes, no chance. Next to that knee. Basically saying, you got a knee problem, and there's no way you can beat me like that. Okada said that he might as well give up now. But Swerve still questioned, whose house is this? And the crowd's trying to chant Swerve's house. They're like, you hear like the whole crowd chanting Swerve's house. And there's like one guy in the crowd going, whose house? And then they start overlapping on each other. And the crowd just gets bad. Anyways, they start doing the Swerve's house chant again. And Okada's like, well, you know what? Bitch. And so Swerve shoves him. They brawl for a second, and then that's it. Cool. It was all right. Whatever. It's just them telling us, hey, Swerve's going into this match at not 100%. So just keep that in mind. So they go to the back. And Alicia 2 asked John Moxley, hey, so did you hear? Well, Will Ospreay said that he's got Tanahashi on his team. Who do you got? And he goes, wait, Tanahashi? You mean the New Japan president, Tanahashi? Ah, shit. And so they walk around the corner, and the door says extras room, right? Like the extra locker room. And they peek their head in there. Moxley walks in, and he's looking at somebody. And Marina's like scares the people off or whatever. And then we see that the Young Bucks are in there. Because, again, the Young Bucks got to dress with the extras now. So fucking stupid. And Moxley kind of looks back at the camera and kind of just shuts the door behind him. And that's all we know. We go to a break. We come back from the break, and Tony Schiavone's like, our main event coming up is the Trios Champions, the Ops, taking on LFI. But before we do that, we have a couple huge announcements for Forbidden Door 1 week from this Sunday. So we first officially announced that Adam Copeland and Christian will be teaming up to take on the team of Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. And I'm like, what? No. You got to save that for Toronto. You got to save Cope and Christian for Toronto. Oh, there's a blow their lid now. And then they announce the big lights out match. All members of this match have been confirmed. On one side, it's John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, the Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd taking on the team of Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, and Kenny Omega. There you go. There's your 10-man tag in a freaking cage. Again, hopefully this isn't a standard cage. And hopefully they're not just confined to in the ring and the cage is kind of like bigger and out, because this is going to suck if they can't get out of the cage and they're stuck in the cage. Because then it's just going to be so many, 10 guys right on top of each other all in the ring at the same time. Might as well be a fucking battle royal. Moving forward, before we get to our main event, let's talk about our sponsor, AECOOLY. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3-speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. So I forgot to mention, before we came back from the break, there was a video that it kind of looked like Gotham City or whatever, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? We announcing a new Batman thing? And it's just Gotham City, it looks like, right? And all of a sudden, light shines in the sky. It's a bat signal. No, it's the Hook signal. The Hook's coming back soon. That's all this was. Hook's coming back soon, and they teased it tonight. As far as this match does go, again, it was the Ops versus LFI. It was a nothing happening, kind of a weak main event, if I do say so myself. Hobbs and Mortos kicked things off with some big meaty men beating meat, whatever you want to call it. Hobbs eventually tagged in Joe to take on Dralistico. He looked like he hadn't missed a step. I mean, Joe's only been gone for a couple of weeks. He had to go do press for Twisted Metal. I'm going to say I haven't finished Twisted Metal. I don't know if all episodes are out yet, but I haven't finished everything that's up on Peacock yet. I really, really, really enjoyed season 1. Not liking season 2 as much. At least not within the first... How many episodes is season 2? Because I finished episode 4. Twisted Metal season 2. How many episodes is season 2? Oh, I only have 1 episode left? There's only 5 episodes? 6 episodes. Episode 6 comes out tomorrow? Is that it? Just 6 episodes? How many episodes is this? Because I've gone through 4. Oh, this is 12 on the Wikipedia. Okay, well, I'm 4 episodes in and not quite liking it as much as I liked last season. I feel like what I've seen so far is a lot of just filler stuff. It's kind of, at least the first 2 episodes were a lot of reintroducing us to characters and stuff. But, yeah. Season 2, I'm not hating it, but I haven't been able to get into it like I did with season 1 yet. And I got into season 1 after like 3-4 episodes there. 3-4 episodes in here, and I'm just like, this is fine. But things settled down, and Dralistico locked a stretch on Shibata. He dragged him to his team's corner and tagged in Mortos, who laid out Shibata with a stretch, preventing Shibata to make the tag. Roosh then taunted Joe at one point after being tagged in, trying to drag him into the match, but Joe was cut off by the ref because he wasn't the legal man. Shibata began no-selling some chops from Roosh and landing a high knee. Roosh then tried to turn the tables and stomping him in the corner, grabbing Shibata by the throat. Roosh then left him open to some chops, and Shibata hit a leg sweep and took him down before he tagged in Hobbs. Marshall's also tagged in, and the two bulls just went at it again. At one point, Hobbs took out Mortos and Dralistico, stacking them in the corner and hitting them with the big spine buster, hitting a big spine buster on Mortos. Roosh then broke up the pin. Joe tagged in and took on Dralistico, who tried a springboard but got caught in a Kakina clutch. Hobbs then kept the others at bay, and Dralistico tapped out. So there we go. Match ends. Joe wins, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of a nothing happening main event. Meh. Whatever. And so I'm like, all right, the show's over. And then they're like stalling. You can tell they're stalling for time. They're like showing the Ops celebrating. And the Ops are getting out of the ring, and commentary is still trying to like stall for time. And then we go to the back, and we see Hangman walking through the parking lot. Renee Paquette then comes up, and Hangman is jumped by MJF. MJF beats him down. And before Page could really do anything, he gets slammed into the car. His head slammed in the side of the car. And MJF reiterated his promise to break Page. And he left the champ, slumped down, laying against the car, beat up. So MJF got one over on Hangman at the end of the show. That's how the show went off the air, with Hangman beat down after getting slammed into the car. So it's like, shitty main event, not a bad show closing angle, because it's like the heel got one over the big champion, the big baby face, as they're going into the pay-per-view in about a week and a half. Overall, I thought it was a fine show. Oh, maybe even good. But the issue was that it was just a lot of random matches that didn't really have many consequences, as far as none of what happened in the matches felt important. But it was all the stuff surrounding the matches and before and after and stuff. So, hey, kudos on them for announcing 4 more matches for the show. We now have, 7 matches announced for Forbidden Door? I have it right here. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches announced for Forbidden Door. But as far as what I thought of the show, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's AEW Dynamite as we do go refresh all the polls. Go Twitter. Let's go Threads. Let's go. Oh, I just accidentally closed Twitter. Let's go fix that one. As far as the Threads poll does go, 80% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitter X poll does go, 54% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right, and 18% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 69% thought 69% liked it, 18% thought it was just all right, and 13% didn't. And the one comment here says it was okay, just hated when they turned Sky Blue into a jobber. As far as the live poll does go, 63% liked the show, 24% thought it was just all right, and 12% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live on Friday morning for the wrestling wrap up, and then Friday evening for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast.